Yesterday in the chat, we predicted this whole downturn. Today, we're going to explain this. I'm also going to show you a chart. Is exactly what has happened in the past, and we're going to show you that today. And this is why I believe that the market has reset, and what's to come next is just come down maybe a little bit lower, hit in and around 17k. We're going to explain that today, why 17k before continuation to the upside. Please like, subscribe and comment. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so here we're looking at a clear Bitcoin chart. We've completely reset it so we can gauge this market. So what I have personally noticed, and I was actually telling you guys about this a few months ago as we were coiling up over here back in March and April. This is when I started saying this W pattern looks a lot like this W pattern, and what we should be in for is a pump above those EMAs and then a loss of it and a final capitulation. A pump above those EMAs, a bull trap, and a final capitulation. This is exactly the same as that. Not only are these two movements the same, it gets even more interesting, guys. So we can actually see over here a shoulder ahead and a shoulder followed by a W pattern, a pump above the EMAs, a bull trap before capitulation to the 200 EMA. Yes, we've fallen below to do the first something that we've never done before, which is test a previous all-time high. This is absolutely crazy. Is this the biggest shakeout we're going to see in crypto history? Because this is, again, something that we called on the channel a month ago. We said, will Bitcoin change 12 to 13 year history by coming back to the previous all-time high? Well, we were correct. So our reasoning for Bitcoin over a month ago to come back down to 19 and 20k was valid. So if that reasoning was valid and that was completely from here to here, that is how I gave you this technical target. You can see right there on the previous all-time high. If I were to put a line on that line right there, you can see a smack on the previous all-time high. This is why I called this for you guys. So it happened exactly as predicted. And if you didn't believe it back then, well, there you go. Now you can actually believe it. So believe in my TA. That's the first example. The second example now here, we have a head and shoulders, as I just said, with a W pattern followed by a pump above the EMAs and capitulation. And the reason we lost the 200 EMA was just explained. So if you appreciate that, please leave the video a thumbs up. Yep. And of course, comment to help the algorithm. Of course, if you're new to the channel, don't just subscribe. Please leave a comment down below so I can see the new faces. It'll be lovely to have a chat with you guys. Again, if you disagree with me, that's completely fine. I'm going to continue to believe in my own TA because that's what's worked over these last 3 years. That's how we literally called this M pattern over here down to this. We did not expect it to come down here, but once he lost this low, we had this fat wick. I said to you all, we're going to fill it in because all these other wicks in the past over here were all filled in. All these wicks here and all these wicks here were all filled in. So that's how we knew that that was going to happen. Then we started coiling up here while we broke out here. Everyone's saying, Louis, you said once we break this, we're actually going to long. Well, when we actually did break it, I told everyone we've gone up for 16 days straight without pullback. I do believe we're going to come back down to this support. And if we lose this support, it's strong. This support is stronger than this one. So if we lose this one, we're losing this one. And if we lose that, we're going to 20k. That is, we called this whole entire thing, guys. And now I'm telling you that this whole entire thing is this whole entire thing because, of course, we saw a head and shoulders, a W, a break above the EMAs, which was a bull trap followed by capitulation to the 200 EMA. Well, here, shoulder, head, shoulder, W pattern, pump above the EMAs, bull trap, capitulation to the 200, reset the market. Look, you lost it here, you lost it here. It's fine to lose it because you don't tend to actually continue a trend down. What you do is you chill under here. We could stay under here for 6 months. I would love not to do so, but that could be a reality. Why? Because it's happened in the past where we came down in November and we left in April. That's 5 to 6 months, guys. So this is why I kept on telling you over the last few months. Once we bottom out, you have to add 6 months on. So at that time over here, obviously, we didn't know if it was 100% the bottom, but we were believing that we had to come back down to this because we lost this low. When we lost 39k over here, that is when we sold 50% of our cryptos, even though it did in the short term go up, meaning that if we did buy back up here, it means that we would have got less coins for the same money. So we were willing to take that risk because there was uncertainty in the market. I remember telling you guys very specifically that I don't care if I sell over here on the break of 39k support because there's no certainty in the market. Right now, you've made a weekly lower low. So I'd rather sell half my position. And if I need to buy back higher here, when there is certainty, I will do. But you can see when we did come up here, you didn't confirm it as support. You didn't reclaim this level to confirm it as support. You got above it and you failed to confirm it as support. You actually confirmed it as resistance and tanked. So this is why we're seeing all of this now. So I'm actually going to bring your guys' attention to this. So guys, these are the two bars pattern, whatever you want to call it, bars pattern, this thing over here, down here, favorite it. You basically just pick the candle. So I want to see the price action from here to there and boom, it will show me it. But of course you want to extend it so it fits correct. So just like that. So it fits correct and then you got that there. So I've done that exactly for this down here, you can see. And for this up here. Just like that. You can see now I moved them together. Could even put them on top of, guys, it's so obvious, it's exactly the same. Now, what will probably happen again is this pattern. Why? Because we kept on seeing this pattern forming multiple times. So if we go to the daily time frame, we kept on seeing. So can you see this structure here? Where we had, well, you could even, it's like a quadruple top. Well, head and shoulders here, like that. Either way, you can see some sort of M pattern here, or you could say this is the M pattern here. Whatever it is, I can see two tops basically, and the same here, I can see two tops, and I can actually see a shoulder here, just like these shoulders. So it's always been happening over and over again, the same thing, but no one's been noticing. And this is actually what we've been calling. Even this over here is this whole thing. Can you see that, guys? So things just keep repeating and repeating, and then this whole thing is like this whole thing. Can you see? It's like it happens over and over and over again. Even this over here, if I zoom in properly for you guys, is the same as this. Can you see the shoulder here, the shoulder here? Then you're over here, you were putting higher highs, but eventually we were doing the lower. But then look over here, double bottom out, double bottom out. Exactly the same. So it's not going to be exactly every single movement exactly the same, because nothing is going to repeat exactly, but history rhymes, as I've just proved to you. Everything I do with my TA, I'm proving. It's not out of my asshole, it's proving. I'm showing you history, I'm back testing the strategy, showing you, and yet still people don't want to believe me. That's completely fine, because the majority of you do, and I urge you all to like, subscribe, and comment if you appreciate that. I really appreciate all of you from the bottom of my heart, because again, without you guys, none of this would be possible. I wouldn't be doing this. So really, really, really enjoyed doing this for you guys. Absolutely. Almost every day, because some days I do need a rest. It is very tiring saying the exact same thing almost every day, because some days nothing happens in the market. But yeah, now we're getting some movement. It's cool. So yeah, we're seeing that these are exactly the same. So what's interesting is we're probably going to get this sort of movement again once we're, started to go up, and then do it again. Or we probably come back down and then eventually go back up. So don't quote me on this, guys, but I'm just saying, just be aware that these patterns can come up again in the future. Now, just before we go, I'm going to leave you with this final 17k target. The reason why I got the 17k target is because this is the exact same as this, okay? So literally the movements are exactly the same, apart from this one being a bit more percentage gain compared to this one. You went a bit lower than compared to here. You went a bit higher here. So what I'm going to do to find this bottom target for you guys is actually I'm going to measure from the high to the low. I'm going to move it over to that point over there, and you can see our low target will be in and around. It's not going to be to the dollar, because I need to get this exactly. Hopefully it is. Okay. In and around 17,790. In and around. Could be a little bit higher, could be a little bit lower, guys. But I'm just showing you that this was exactly the same as this as well. And of course, you can see literally every single movement is exactly the same, apart from the sizes. But this final capitulation, look at that. Some people would already be saying target is met. So let's see if we will actually continue on to this technical target. We also have this pullback over here, and you can see we do have some targets down here, which I made you aware of in the last 2 days of these lower 18k targets. 17 to 18k. There you go. Can you see it? Look, nice confidence at the 2414, 17,850, and this is 17,790. So let's see what happens. We're so close. We need to start wicking up. We want this to happen this week, and then yeah, before the week we'd like to start wicking up, to be honest, guys. But yeah, if not, it'll have to happen next week, and we can't lose this week's low if we want to actually head back up. And if this is the bottom, I can leave you with some technical targets to the upside. Our new impulsive wave for Bitcoin, the 1618 target will be 160k, and that will be programmed once we can confirm the bottom. If the bottom is in already, you have already programmed. Like, this is 100% already set in stone because you actually have gone down this far. We just don't know if we're going to go down further. The bigger the dip, actually the bigger the rip. You see, the further I drag this down, you can see the price goes up. So I know no one wants it, but I've been saying in the past that it's that the more you go down, the better it is, because it's going to give you an even more explosive bull market the more you go down in a bear market. So we didn't have a crazy blow off top this time, so we're not going to get the craziest of bear markets percentage drop wise. Dollar drop, of course, the biggest. We're at the biggest dollar value we've been in history, 69k. So obviously the drop is going to be absolutely awful, but percentage wise, it's diminishing returns. So and of course the no parabolic motion has also led to that. So the fact that we are massively capitulating without really a blow off top, it means that we're going to get a crazy run up the next time. And again, if 17 point whatever 8k is the bottom, then we got a 160k 1618 next impulsive wave target for Bitcoin, because you could actually pull back, hold the previous all-time high, and head much higher to these two targets. But I'm not going to give you hope here, guys. What I can say is this is, yes, programmed, almost set in stone. For the moment, 5k higher is certainly set in stone because we already have come down that low. If we go down a little bit lower, 160k. Thank you guys so much. Again, please like, subscribe and comment, and everything I showed you in today's video is all in my education. Just send me a message on my Twitter, the link is down below, and we'll get you started as soon as possible. Again, this is the best period to start, and we'll leave it there.